Hello guys, um, this is CS Fashion and Designing, and we are about to do a little tutorial on how to cut and sew your trousers. Okay, as you can see, I've already marked the hem of the trousers. So let me just show you how I did it. First of all, I measured the length. If you can see, I removed half inch in my tape, so half inch is not in my tape, so but I'm still using it. Okay, so I measured the length here. Look at the measurement we are using. This measurement we are using, this measurement, this particular one. Okay, so looking at the measurement, our the length of our trouser is 39. So I'll measure the 39. Look at my 39 here. I removed 1.5 inch. Since I have removed half of my half inch is not there in the tape. Since there is no half inch in the tape, I'm supposed to remove 1 inch, but since there is no half inch, I dropped it at 1.5 because there is no one, like the 1 inch is not complete. Okay, so you measure it. After measuring it, I marked it. Then I counted 1 2 3. I marked it 3 inch.
Yeah.
Then the bit is the bit, which is the hem. I call it the ending part of the trouser is known as the bit. We call it the bit in my area. So it is 15.5. So what I did is I divided the 15.5 into 2. After dividing the 15.5 into 2, it gave me 8. So I will now add half inch to it. That is where I got this. Now, so for the up part of the trousers, I am going to look at the hip of the trouser, hip hip. So the hip is 36 actually. So I'm going to divide the 36 into 2. So I'm dividing the 36 into 2. It gave me 18 1/4. I'm still going to divide that into 2 again. It's going to give me 9 1/4 and a line. 9 1/4 and a line. I'm going to measure 9 1/4 and a line, mark it, and then I'll add 1 inch since we are using our hip. So 1 inch will be 10 1/4 and a line. Do you get it? But I do like to add half inch, so I would add half inch. That would be 10 3/4 and a line. I'll mark it, and then after marking it, this part of the trousers, I normally get this part of the trouser using the looking at the person. It's not me just dividing anything the way I want and then getting this particular result. I will look at the person's the person's trouser. What would I do to make the person's trouser fit to the person? So for this part now, I normally use 10, but today I'm going to use 10.5. That will still be 10 because my tape is not actually complete. So I'll use 10.5. That is 10 inch. For you that has a complete tape, be careful. So 2.5 inch is 2 inch. Look at it. 1 2 2 inch. Do you get it? So I'm going to use 3 inch here because it will be 2.5 inch. I don't want to confuse you. Okay, so now we are going to come back to the hem. Since everything we measured here is 8.5, we are going to measure 8.5 upward. 8.5, 8.5, and 8.5. Then we are going to look at the lap. This is where the lap comes in. We are going to look at the lap. The lap is 3.5 inch. So we are going to divide the 23.5 inch. Why I am using this tape that is not complete? Because I use this tape to measure the person. That's the reason why I'm using this tape. So we are going to divide 23.5 into 2. That should be 12. So we are going to look at mark the 12 here in our lap. Then we are going to connect this point. Okay, we have just connected the lap and the bead together. So after connecting the lap and the bead together, we are going to measure 7 here. This should be 7.5. This is the flap area. So we are going to measure it. Then we are going to make a curve here from this point. We are going to make a curve here. After making this curve, then for the pocket, some people you keep it's not a standard measurement. The pocket, you look at the person. If the person is big, you keep it 2.5. If the person is not too big, not too grab, you keep it 2 inch. But for me, this person is not too big, so I'll have to keep it 2 inch, and my 2 inch is 2.5 inch in this tape. Please, you should understand this thing. Okay, so I measured 2.5. Take a look at it, come closer. Okay, 2.5 inch. Then for the length of the pocket, it should be, I normally keep it 7, but because of my tape is not complete, I'm going to keep it 7.5. But the normal measurement for here that you can take, but for children you keep it 6. It's not the same both for children and mature men. Is not the same. You have to know if it's a child, you keep it 6 inch or 5.5, depending on how small the child is, and then that is that for that. Okay, so I measured it. So after measuring it, hold on. Okay, so this is my scissors. Now it is time for cutting. I'm going to look at this edge and measure half inch. Half inch, and I'll cut it to that half inch, and then I'll cut this edge also, mark it, and then I'll mark it, and then I want to cut out the trouser. Okay, so for what I've cut out here now, this is for the front part of the trousers. This is for the front part of the trousers. I'll show you on how to cut the back part of the trousers, but first of all we have to know this basic one first. The front part of the trouser. Okay, like for here, let me show you very well. So this is the basic principle of you cutting trouser, not having those plenty measurements and all of those things. Sometimes you watch tutorial, you watch until you will not even understand what you are even doing. So this is a very simple way of cutting trousers. You don't need to calculate. You need to calculate, although you need to calculate, but you don't need to calculate that much. You just need to know the basic things. You get it? Okay. So I'm going to divide the both sides into 2. Okay, I'm dividing it. This is the front part of the trouser. I've just divided it. So I'm going to mark this other part too, because this is the two good sides facing each other. Then this is both back side because they are opposite. So that is that. Wait, pause. Okay, so now I have arranged my material and I'm about to cut the back part of the material. Okay, so take a good look at it. You can see the way I arranged it. I gave a space up here. You can see the way I gave a space up here. I'm going to shift this so that our material, we don't want to waste anything. Are you hearing me? There are some people when they want to cut material, they will waste almost all the material. Because of one trouser they want to cut, they will finish all the whole material, and then the customers will be complaining that this boy cannot manage material, this boy cannot manage material. So one thing about fashion is about the management of material also. Do you get it? Okay, so now see the way I have arranged it. So we are going to measure 2 inch here. We are going to check 2 inch upward. My tape is 2.5 inch, that is 2 inch. I'm going to measure it. Okay, this is complete. Then we are going to fold this part. This is our flap. I put the front on the back so that we can get the actual shape of everything we are doing, the accurate shape. Okay, so I'm going to trim this. Let me use a better scissors. Okay, so I'm going to trim this. Okay. Okay, look at this side. We are going to cut it exactly from the hem. Okay, so this is the shape of our back half of the trouser. Then we are going to drag this to the end. After dragging this to the end, then we are going to measure 1.5 inch. 1.5 inch should be 2 inch. So we are going to mark it, and then we are going to make sure these 2 points meet. You can use anything you want to use, you can use anything you want to use, but you make sure these 2 parts meet. Okay, so we are going to trim out these parts. Now in your trousers, sometimes you observe that when you put on your trousers, if you are dry, the back, because of your buttocks, the back, sometimes the back will look as if the back of the trouser is going down one kind and the front part is up. That is because of you are not putting this you are not sloping the back part of the trouser. So this is both the front part and the back side. So the way I divided the front, that's the same way I'm going to divide this back. Okay, so I have divided it. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to measure 4. Okay, it's supposed to be 4.5. I'm going to measure 5 inch because 5 inch should be my 4.5. This is 4 inch, half inch. Okay, so I've marked, I trimmed out, I put a little mark here, 4.5 here. So this is for the dart. We call it a dart for your trouser. The back part of the trouser will have a dart before the pocket. Okay, so that is that for this. So let me just show you on how to cut your pocket. That will be the most simplest thing we are going to do here today. Okay, so this is I want to cut my pocket right now. So what I'm going to do is that I would measure 8 inch downward. I'll measure 8 inch downward and then measure 7.5 upward. So the length of my pocket, I want to keep this thing. If you are the one, the tailor that decides how the deep the pocket will be. You know, some customer don't like deep pocket while some likes deep pocket. So you are the one that is supposed to think that, okay, what should I do for this person? So that is that for that. Some people will complain that the pocket is not deep. Some will say the pocket is not too deep. We'll get these complaints every day. But for me, for this trouser, I would love to keep it 17 inch. Okay, so I'll measure 7.5 here. Now measure 8 inch here. For those that their tapes are complete, please if you are watching this video, please tap on the notification bell so that as I'm uploading a new video, you will see my new uploads and my new videos. And then don't forget to tap the like button to indicate that you have already watched my video, that you like my video. Okay. Okay, so this is my pocket. I'm going to cut the other part. You know, pockets, we have two now. Normally use two pockets, so I'm going to cut this other part. Okay. Okay, so we are done here with the pocket. So we don't need to cut our flap again. Next time, on my next video, I'm going to teach on how places you are supposed to come in your trousers and all of that thing. So this is my pocket. This is my trouser. This is the front part of the trouser. This is the back part of the trouser. If you want to know more about this, I'll drop my WhatsApp number on the down below this video. So if you want to know more about this, you can just join my WhatsApp, and you can just send me a message on WhatsApp. Then I'll add it to my group. After adding it to my group, you start seeing my videos I'm uploading here. These same videos I'm uploading here, I will be uploading the same videos on my group. And then on my group, the thing about my group, I'll be explaining more on my group. But for this, you cannot ask me that much question, because sometimes I will not be going to go and look at your comments. So but I'll be checking the comments. But on my group, I will have more time to chat with each other. You can also DM me, and then we can talk better. Thank you.